B string, and E string. You're probably going to hear some laughing in the other room. My niece is laughing. The cat is desperate to try to get in here to be close to me, and so they are. I can hear them making fun of him. So I don't know if their laughter is coming through with the microphone or not. But anyway, that's what we got going on. Alan, Mike here in the room is also a baritone ukulele expert, and so you two can agree to be slumming it here with the guitar people. Still low on your end, Elizabeth. Yeah, Christy said hers is better. I know it's just internet congestion, and that's obviously way beyond our ability to fix. So first thing I'd like to do. Yesterday, I had a catastrophe trying to play Daisy Bell, Bicycle Bill for Two, and then two of you said, "Hey, it's not even in my book." And then I went back through and took a little bit of time to study up why all of the craziness surrounding Daisy Bell was. And Linda, hi. Still sounds like the Allstate. Still sounds like the Allstate guy. Yeah. Well, so we'll talk about the tools. Me playing along with me may or may not be that great today. And I know you are in an essential business, Mike. Let's talk. We'll go through the tools, and maybe you can play with me, maybe you can't, but at least you'll have some motivation and something to work on at home today, and keep your mind off of things. Back to Daisy Bell. Daisy Bell, I had obviously pulled from the books because it wasn't playable. And in my mind, I'm like, yes, it is. And I put it out there and I thought, yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing. Well, the more I went through it, the more I realized I pulled it out of the books because it was a bad arrangement. And so I reposted that there. So if you guys will go grab that copy, and I cleaned it up, I put it into the key of D instead. I think it was in G prior to that. And so I moved it over into D. And I want to take just a minute to play through the tough acts. If you guys will play along with me, either playing the chords, right, the D chord and G chord, and A7, and B minor's in here, and E7. Those are your only chords in there. The B minor, of course, for a guitarist, that's the one you're just like, oh, I hate B minor. I still hate it, and I've been playing a while. That B minor is going to be one of those things that kind of eats you up. On ukulele, obviously, just do that one. That sounds absolutely. That's actually way better bar chord than the other one. So let's do that. I want to play through this one real quick, just so you have a sense of it, and we can talk about whether I made it better or worse for you. Oh, Mary, you're a baritone player too. Wonderful. Delighted to have you guys. Baritone players, you know you got the correct answer. We just get rid of these two things, and all of a sudden, guitar is fun. For those of you who like these two strings here, you know that you're willing to put in the work and the time and the energy and the effort to conquer this bad boy. All right, we're going to go nice and slow through this. I'm going to play the tough acts. You play whatever line makes the most sense to you. And if you are new here and you haven't dealt with my instruction before, know that when we get to Farmer in the Dell or whatever of the other three songs, I'll clear up some of the mess about this. Okay. So, but this is from yesterday, and I felt bad that yesterday didn't go very well. So let's play from the top. Tough acts is what I'm playing. If you want to play chords or play the individual notes, that's what I'd love for you to play. Whatever makes sense for you. 1, 2, 3. different ring, stop it by taking your hand from the bridge up. Okay, so not a perfect rendition, but certainly a much more playable version of that. And I think the big challenges for the newer arrangement at measure, oh, I didn't put measure numbers on. The B minor, 9, 10, 11, measure 12, the B minor, obviously getting your B minor on there and getting that on correctly makes playing that sound really, really nice. And you're rest stroking on string 1. Okay, so make sure that is do what you can with bar chords, right? In the beginning they sound terrible, and if you're fighting the whole bar chord, you can't just put an A minor on there and then just play these 3 strings. Okay, so you're putting the A minor shape on, and then just making sure those are the only 3 strings you touch. It'll sound fine. Next challenge on this one at measure 10. You have that bar chord. You really want to keep this A string open, so you want to grab 4 strings at fret 5, and then you're going to put either probably your middle finger, I would say would be the best, on the 6 right in front of that. Okay, that's an A7, and it's perfect. It's like it fits right where the melody goes. This song was quite clearly written on a piano, and so forcing it onto a guitar requires a certain amount of finesse, and we just get lucky there that A7 just lays in there perfectly. And what you guys know is that you're really playing this chord is an E7, right? But when you start moving it up with a bar, you would do this, and at fret 5, it just happens to work out perfectly where you can leave this one open. It's a really nice A7. It was delightful to find that one hanging out on the guitar. And so that shows up in measures 10 and also in measure 18. At measure 18, I've got that same thing there. And the next note's a 7 on the 2nd string. So that takes, again, that would be one of those areas when you're practicing and you're spending some time getting better at guitar. We spend way too much time trying to play the whole song top to bottom. It's absolutely a waste of our time. What we really want to do is get good at that moment, right? When that shows up. In this case, I put it the other way. So measures 18 and 19, that's where I'm going to spend my evening working. That's what I'm going to work on, and I'm going to do that over and over and over until I can get just that moment correct. All right, yay, I got it that time. Okay, and so that way, once I know I've got that hard section conquered, and I'm just working on that in a micromanaging those 2 measures, now I'm not going to lose sleep when I'm playing along and I see them coming up. I'm like, I already practiced that. I know what I'm doing. What I'm not going to be doing, like that intro, right? Pretty easy. So I can probably play that one just without a lot of effort and a lot of time. So I'm not going to practice those sections. I'm only going to practice those sections that give me a heartache. And then if I can get those where my hands are going to happen, they just know what they're doing, then I go back through and play the whole song right before I ended my practice session. The other one, right at the end, that 10, 10, 11 snuck up on us a little bit. Probably should have mentioned that was coming. But all that is your F chord, and you're getting rid of all of this nonsense, and you have this shape here, and you're just playing just those 3 right there, and you can actually include the 4th string on that. You're really playing a D chord all the way down here. Sounds kind of nice, especially if you've got a good, that's the difference between baritone and guitar. Guitar gives you this big soundboard, so you can really make that ring out. If you're playing baritone, it'll ring out just fine. It'll go to the ends of the instrument's ability, but it like this guitar's still ringing out from that, and this isn't even that great of a guitar. So that's what the bigger soundboard gets you, is just a little bit more resonance. I think both of those instruments have some real advantages and some real disadvantages, and sustain is an advantage of a bigger soundboard. So the playability is the advantage of the smaller instrument. So all right, so now you've got a better copy of Daisy Bell, and hopefully that one's going to play better for you. It certainly played much better for me, although I was far from perfect. At least you had an idea of what I'm working on there. All right, oops, those were singers from Nashville on Broadway. All right, let's see. Funny. You guys are hilarious. All right, we're going to go quickly through the rest of this stuff. I think if you're newer, my big goal is that I want to make fingerstyle easy. When you go out onto the internet, that's how good adults want to play. They want to play fingerstyle. They want to put chords. They want to put melody. They want to stop singing, and they just want the guitar to do all the work. And that's what my goal is. The problem with most of the fingerstyle teachers out there is it's way too hard. And so I'm hoping to bring in this a very straightforward system that takes you from here's how you play melody, here's how you play the two chords with melody, here's how you play chords and melody together, here's how we add in some arpeggio playing, here's how we bring that full package together. And hopefully this program steps you through that from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. By the time you're comfortable in level 3, you should be able to play everything fingerstyle, and you should be able to have the skill set in place where you can really turn everything into a very nice guitar arrangement, and then you can decide if you want to sing. Most of us should not be singing, and so that's why I do what I do, is because I know for sure I should not be singing. All right, let's run through Farmer in the Dell. Go ahead and pull that piece of sheet music up, please. And with Farmer in the Dell, when we are working at level 1, or if we're teaching level 1, there's only one main skill I want them to know, 2 main skills in this song that I want them to know. So first off, we might talk about 6/8 timing, but we don't spend a lot of time on it because frankly it hurts your head, and those of you who are advanced players will agree with me. 6/8 timing is one of those things where you approach it knowing how to do it, but you're just not really super excited about it. It's an interesting time signature because it can be actually counted 3 different ways. It's technically you're supposed to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you can count it 1, 2, and there are songs like Greensleeves where it almost works better to count it as 1, 2, 3. So it's just one of those annoying things that I don't really talk to beginners about it. But it is something, if you've got people who are you're teaching that you feel like they need to know what 6/8 is, then here they go. Make sure when you're teaching that they're holding the guitar up against their body. Make sure that the neck is at about a 60-degree angle. Make sure that it's index, middle, and ring. Okay. Encourage them to just play 5 strings. Okay. If they play the 6th string, not the end of the world. Just a really pretty chord on guitar, so making that correct. The only time I would say if they got gigantic fingers, you can do an index, middle, and ring, that shape. That's industry approved, right? If a lot of guys have huge fingers, they have to do it that way, but we really would rather have them do it in a row. I think it makes other chords down the road easier. Should I add this to book 2? Add Daisy Bell. You would be a book 3 song, Elizabeth. Let's see. Okay. I think I've got everybody else on. But yeah, Daisy Bell's a book 3 song. Let's go then to Farmer in the Dell. First thing we'd like to do is sing it, and believe me, I know I can't sing, and probably my voice is low right now, so it's going to sound it's going to sound equally terrible. 1, 2, the farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the farmer in the dell. Again, nothing there, but what we were really working with students on, if you're newer or if you've been around a while, you got this strum pattern, this thumb down. Okay, you could do up and down. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the farmer in the dell. You got that pattern. If you are working on those next level skills. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho the dairy, the farmer in the dell. You got a 6 pattern on this one. This is where 6/8 comes into something important. The thumb is on 5, index under 4, middle under 3, ring under 2. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. The 1 and 2 and 3 and the farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Hi-ho the dairy, the farmer in the dell. Okay, so that would be that's your next level skill, is that arpeggio playing. Okay, so again, if you're new, just playing the chords and strumming is important. If you have been around a while and you're starting to think about, hey, I want to make guitar as fancy as I can, go all the way back to a simple song like this to give yourself a chance to work on your right hand work, I think is really important. Let's play through the melody. If you've been with us, you've studied Frere Jacques in 2 different ways, so hopefully that's making sense. Just remember your tablature is written upside down. Every single note in this is either a 0 or a 2, and so you're going to use your middle finger up and down on the strings on the 2nd fret. Play along with me. If you don't know your tablature yet, you're still feeling a little doubtful about it, just strum along with the chord, okay? Otherwise, I'd love for you to try finger picking this. 1, 2, I'm going to count in 2, and then we're going to go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, 2, 2, 2. Oh, 2, 2, 2. And I repeat. Okay. Now, typically with students, and when I'm in level 1, that's it. I just cover the chords and I cover how to pluck the melody. I don't tell them. The very last night of the 4-week class, I do show them how to read tough acts and give them a chance to look at that. But I just have no expectations at this level 1 that they're dealing with tough acts and chord melody and all that. You can show it to them, and that's one of the things. If you've got a friend and everybody has a guitar under their bed, everybody, and so if you have a friend who's like, oh, you're playing guitar, I always wanted to play guitar. That's your guy. You go get him, make him get his guitar out, and give him drop these level 1 book on him, and work with him, teach him, and you'll give him a really beautiful gift. Okay, let's play through the tough acts. Those of you who are at that level, if you're not there, that's perfectly fine. Okay, we're going to grab the A chord in fingerstyle. We always grab an A chord. And the first note's on the 4th string. Ready? Play. 2 strum, 2, 2, 2 strum, 2, oh, strum, 2, 2, 2 strum, 2, 2, strum, oh, 2 strum, 2, 2, oh, strum, 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 oh, 2, 2, and then you repeat. Okay, you repeat this thing 9 times, going into measure 8 9 times, and then on the 10th time you skip measure 8 and go to measure 9. Okay, so make sure when you're practicing, if you go into measure 8, you are telling yourself, yes, I am going to repeat. If you don't want to repeat, if you're sick of Farmer in the Dell, if you've gotten up to the Nurse Takes a Cow and realize that this song is not making any sense whatsoever, then skip measure 8, play measure 9, and you're out. Okay, so that is Farmer in the Dell. If you're a level 1 person, all I really care about is you make your A chord correctly and that you are using your middle finger on all of those 2s and that the melody is actually starting to come out. If you are a next level player or you're thinking about doing some teaching, be really working on your right hand patterns, be getting comfortable with that tough acts and how that works. I use my thumb on all this stuff, but you could be absolutely using your claw and developing those skills. And then, of course, if you are a teacher, making sure that you are knowing how to really work through 1st and 2nd repeat is very important. And then probably talking about 6/8 timing is also one of those things I think is important in this song. It's a dumb song, but it really has plenty of skills to keep you busy for just developing your toolbox and really making it sound nice. Okay. All right. Let's move on. If you have questions, toss them down into the, I think, your tech check chat boxes over there. Oh, forgot to tell you, you're supposed to hit subscribe and thumbs up if so that way YouTube knows we exist. I don't think they know we exist. I don't care if they know we exist. All right. Next song. What are we doing? Down by the Riverside, I think. Down in the valley. One of the downs. Oh no, we're doing Drunken Sailor, right? Is that what we're doing? We're doing Drunken Sailor. Let me check. Oh yeah, Drunken Sailor today. Beautiful. All right. So, Drunken Sailor. This is one of those songs we probably don't play melody on, right? But we will anyway. Let's go ahead and real quick run through the melody. At level 2, my expectation is you're reading tablature. So let's look at the guitar melody line. You've got some zeros, lots of zeros. You're going to have some 2s and some 1s and some 3s too, right? So you've got some 1s, 2s, and 3s. And and then occasionally a 5 is going to sneak in. Now, a lot of times I like to move my finger position when I have 5s, but since it's only 5s, I'm going to chase my pinky down there to get those 5s, and then I'm going to get back into first position. All right, so I'm going to let my pinky get my 5s, but for the most part, I'm going to have them be hanging out in first position. Okay, let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 1, oh, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, oh, 3, oh, 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 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, oh, 3, oh, 2. Let's play it again. Let it ring. Okay, don't lift that up until you're done with it ringing. Okay, so one of those songs where it sounds fine, and when you play melody, but this is when you kind of want to really rock out a little bit. Okay, let's go through the 2 chords that you would need to know. Level 2 is all about switching chords. So if you're new to guitar and you're working on getting your chord switching done, that's a huge part of your early life as a guitar player, is getting where you're okay with going from chord to chord to chord to chord to chord, right? Most guitar students, that's all they ever do is learn a half a dozen chords that they can get back and forth between. And as long as one of them isn't F chord, they're happy. And so what we want to do is fingerstyle players is chords are part of our lives, but they're not the most important part. They're one of the important things that we have to do. And so just get comfortable with it. Here's your A chord, index finger on 2, 2nd string, 1st fret, middle finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, and then ring finger jumps right in underneath there, 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then on this one, I gave you the fancy G chord, but you can do a regular G chord. You want to get from here to G, you're going to chase your index finger. Index finger hits here, middle finger hits here, ring finger and pinky finger if you can. Okay. Or if you can't, if that one's not going to work for you, just put your ring finger on the first string. Either of those are perfectly acceptable. If you are been trained in other systems, they're going to teach you this one, middle, ring, and pinky. And that makes it maybe easier to get over to your A minor. I don't necessarily agree with that, but for some people, they think it's easier. So I like to go this one, this one, this one. Okay. And again, you're chasing your index finger. Here on my index finger, I'm going to jump it up over here, and then I'm going to jump it back. That's our goal. Let's sing. Sorry about my singing. It's terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. And then you go through and you repeat that song 18 times. Okay, so 19, I'm counting that one first. So we got lots of verses on page 2 for you to go through. Again, we don't care about the song. We care about getting from A to G and back to A minor. Okay, so that's the skill set. Notice also on page 2, I gave you some other chord pairings that should work, that might be easier for you to sing, right? So you've got D minor, boom, boom, and boom. Okay, that's a beautiful chord on guitar, don't you think? Love it. Gonna go to a C chord, back to a D minor. So it'll be, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lying the moon. Okay, so there's that chord pair. That works out really nice. Next level players, well, this is still kind of the same idea. E minor goes to D. Back to E minor. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lying the moon. Okay. So again, 3 separate chord pairings. Find the one that fits your voice the best, or your singer's voice. Hopefully you're not having to sing. You're the guitarist. You want somebody else to do the singing for you. But let that be, hopefully that's going to be helpful to you. I noticed my head has this giant glow on it. All right, next, the last one over there on page 2 is a bar chord. You've got your A minor chord. And then we're going to slide that up to the first fret. Okay, I got a bar chord on there. Bar, and then your A minor chord. So I'm using middle, ring, and pinky. A minor, slide it up. Now it's an A sharp minor. And you're going to go on bar 1. Then your bar is going to slide up to 4, and you're going to put on the E shape, dun, 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 which is really, most people would think of that as an F chord on 4. So that's a bar chord exercise to work on. If you're hating bar chords in life, that's a really effective one to use. I know that Alan, who's here today, he's a bar chord guru, and everything he plays with bar chords. And I'd say that particular one, from that minor shape up to this major shape, back to your minor shape. It gives you the ability then, once you get comfy with it, then you don't have to start, you can start on 1 and go to 5 instead. So, I'm sorry, you can start on 2, go to 5. Anyway, you get the idea. You can move your bars anywhere up and down on this. to fit your singer's voice, right? If you're the singer, you want it to fit your voice. If somebody else is singing, you just pick whichever frets make the most sense for your singer, and off you go. All right, last thing we need to do here, and then we're going to move on. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. We're going to do the tough axe. Okay, this is a song you're going to probably just sing and strum, right? It's super fun, but if you're sitting at home thinking, I'm going to make the world's greatest guitar instrumental using the tough axe line, that's what I want to do. So you're going to start with your A minor chord, okay? And then every time the measure changes, you're probably going to be thinking, am I playing the right chord or not? Okay, so let's go through it nice and slow. Go. Strum, oh, 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 strum, 2, 1, oh, change to a G chord, strum, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, strum, oh, 3, A minor, strum, 2, 3, 5, then back to your G chord, strum, oh, 3, oh, and then back to A minor, strum, and then back to not major 9, strum, strum, 2, 1, oh, G chord, 3, 3, strum, oh, 3, strum, oh, strum, 2, 3, 5, strum, oh, 3, oh, strum. And then you repeat that 19 times. I think with this one, probably not that great as an instrumental piece, but it is really, really good for giving you a chance to double check all of those chords are in place for you. Again, level 2, chord pairings is what it's all about. Making sure you're fine with playing your melody. And then in level 2, I do start talking to them about this tough axe line. That's probably not the easiest one in the book to get where you're really studying it. I think getting on that G chord can be real gangly. And so that's not something that I tend to push on students too early. All right, there's Drunken Sailor. If you have questions, put them in the box. Otherwise, we'll move on to the grand finale for today, which I can't remember what it is. Down by the Riverside. Let's go grab that one. Where are you down by the Riverside? Okay, down by the Riverside. The first thing, the only new skill in this piece is some percussion. So you will see that up at the top there on the upper left-hand corner of page 1, I wrote percussion and I put a little star there. So when we get there, 2 ways to do percussion. You can take your thumb, tap, tap. Okay, I don't necessarily know if I like doing that because I think it's hard on your strings and your frets, but you see a lot of fingerstyle players using that as a sound. The one I tend to do is just tap with my fingers on the soundboard here. I don't know, I think it's fine. But what we're really trying to do, the tool that we're working on here, is just getting that percussion sound. Any way that you want to do it is fine. I'd say, mess around and see which ones make the most sense for you. Alan had a note, did you change the tuning on your guitar? Because all my chords are about 5 keys higher. No, it's the internet, Alan. I'm 100% in tune. I sound just like I always sound, Kermit the Frog. But the internet, for some reason, has slowed down till everything sounds a little lower. And I do apologize. This happened the other day, and I don't have any control over it. So, again, if you're trying to play along with me, it's probably not going to sound that great. But if you're making sure that you know the skill set that you're trying to tackle on each of these songs, that hopefully will make some sense for you when you're playing at home on your own. Eventually, we're going to get to go outside again and play, and we'll all get together, and then we'll sound lovely, right? So big idea right now is just getting everybody as many skill sets as we can to make things go well for you. All right, down by the Riverside, let's play through it real quick. Make sure you know your chords. You got an A chord, got an E7, got a D over a major 18, and that's fit. So it's a 3-chord song, and old-fashioned spiritual type song. And I'd say if you are strumming just thumb down, which is what I'm going to do, that's fine. If you are trying to get next level, do this, right? Trying to get really next level, you're thinking about arpeggio picking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're on your E's, probably root note it with your thumb up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're on D, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I would probably on a song like this, because the melody's sort of lazy, I would probably be hammering. I'd be double timing my arpeggios because I think it would sound nice. But you kind of decide that, right? So you've got your arpeggio picking, you've got your claw plucking, you got this strum. I won't think an up and down strum would be appropriate for this type of song, but you can try it. Okay. The song's in 4. The first 2 beats are rest, and then we have a pickup of 2 beats. Okay, so I'm gonna lay down my. So I'm gonna count to 2, and we're gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna lay down my soul and shield down by the rivers. I just realized I'm holding a D chord, wondering why does this song sound so cool. All right. I'm probably actually playing it in the right key for you guys. All right, let me grab an A chord. This is the key we're going to play it in. 1, 2. I'm going to lay down my soul and shield down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. I'm going to lay down my soul and shield down by the riverside. I'm going to study all no. 1, 2, 3. I ain't going to study. I ain't going to study. I ain't gonna study. I won't know. We're in the first repeat. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. I ain't going to 18. Study. Won't know. I ain't gonna study. Won't know. I ain't gonna study. I won't say no. Okay, so I think what we should have talked about before we just jumped in, measures 24 through 26 is your first ending, and then that repeat at the end of 26 sends you back to 18, not back to the front of the song. Okay, so it sends you back up to 18. And then notice in measure 27, there's only 2 beats, so you've been playing 4 beats, 4 beats, 4 beats, and then in 27, it's 2 beats of A, 2 beats of E7, 2 beats, and then 4 beats of A, or just one big strum on A at the end of that song. Whatever you want to do, but it's set up where it's kind of fast ending on that. Probably if I rewrite this, I'll probably put in 4 beats. Okay, let's play through the melody. Okay, level 3. I would suspect that that's not a big problem for you anymore. Ready? 1. Oh, make sure you got a 4 on 4. You got that note coming up. Okay, F sharp. You gotta use your pinky there. Don't have your ring finger sliding up there. It's not good for you. Okay. 1, 2. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. 4, 2, oh, 2. Pop, pop. 2, 2, 1, 2, oh, 2. Pop, pop. Oh, oh, 2, oh, 2, 1. Pop, pop. 2, 2, 1, 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 2, oh, 2, pop, pop, 2, 2, 1, 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, oh. 4, and a big strum at the end. Okay, all right, that's the melody. Again, when you're at level 2, should be flowing out of your instrument pretty smoothly. When you're even if you're just sight reading, right? That's the question. Can I get good tone when I'm sight reading? And then, of course, you notice I'm just thumbing all over, hoping like heck I'm hitting the right string. Not efficient at all. Much better off if you're just playing with your claw in this position. You'll be much more likely to not have mistakes and play faster. You do get a different tonality. There is a difference between that tone and this tone. They are different. You do get a different sense of the song when you're playing in claw position. Most of the time better, not always. A lot of times this thumb down is the most beautiful, but try it both ways. Make sure you're practicing that so you can get both of those skill sets in place. All right, then let's wrap it up. What time is it? Oh, we're in good shape. We had a nice quick class today, first Sunday. Let's get and run through the whole tough acts. Okay, I'm going to start with my A chord on. I'm again double checking that my posture on my guitar is good, that my thumb is out of the way, my neck is sitting on top of my spine. I could put a pillow on top of my piano bench because my butt was getting tired by the end of these 2 classes in a row. So I'm being mindful of my tension in the body and what's hurting and what's, if I'm playing and I'm doing like this, that's not ideal. We want to have the least amount of tension possible. You'll notice when I'm playing guitar, I'm trying to keep this wrist as straight as I can. I have a tendency to be this guy, and I don't want to be that guy, so I'm trying. My thing is working where all of the weight is in my elbow, just really trying to hold that down. Okay, and I'd say this is pretty good posture, to be perfectly honest. If I could just consistently do it, I think I would be able to play a lot longer in my career. And you should be thinking about that too, because if you're already working on this kind of stuff, you're going to be playing a long time. There's a lot of good music out there you haven't got to yet, and you can play it all, right? And so that's what's exciting. All right, we're going to start with a 2-beat count-in, and then we're going to play. Again, if you are working a higher level, you're working on playing it with these fingers. If you're working at my level, just a thumb plan works just fine. Okay, and ultimately, you want to play every song in as many ways as possible until you have decided at your house, this is how this song is supposed to go. This is what makes me sound the best. This is what I'm going to be successful at. And that's the song that you take out into the world. And the only way to know that is to have a full toolbox that you're working on all those skill sets. And in every song you're thinking, oh, this song has percussion. Is it going to be that percussion? Is it going to be this percussion? Is it going to be that percussion? Which percussion am I going to put in there? And the other question for me always is, am I going to do any of that stuff, right? So am I going to go ahead and put in all that fancy stuff or not? So, it's up to you. You get to decide that, okay? From the top, I'm going to count in 2, and we're going to go. 1, 2. 2, 2, 1, strum, 2, 4, strum, strum, 2, 1, strum, 2, strum, 2, strum, 2, 1, strum, 2, 2, 1, strum, 4, strum, strum, 2, 1, strum, 2, 2, 2, strum, 3, strum. Strum, 2, strum, Three strum, strum, second ending, strum, there's that A. There's an A sitting right there. And it's a 5 on the first string. Sounds good. Okay, guys. Hopefully I gave you something to work on today. Tomorrow we'll just keep going through each of the 3 books, book 1, book 2, and book 3. And obviously, the sheet music's not always perfect. I'm trying to get as many typos as I possibly can. Send me an email if you have any questions. Just go to denverguitarorchestra.com. My email is on there. And please feel free to drop me an email. Let me know what's going well for you, what's going poorly for you. Hopefully I can be helpful. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday evening. Stay inside. It's brutal out there, and we don't want to become a part of the system. So the best thing to do is stay home with this guy. He'll keep you busy. And thanks, Alan. Have a great night. This is a pretty good way to spend some quiet time. Well, we're probably stuck for the next month, right? So think of how legit you're going to be by the end of that time. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Mike, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Mary, super glad you came in. I love it having you here. So Elizabeth, have a great night. Go feed those cats. I'm going to go feed my cat. Let poor Henry in. And you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to end this stream. Thanks for everything.